Hey everybody, this is me, the Undead Viking, and these cards I'm going to hold up here in just one moment are all cards that are part of the game Tavern Masters. Tavern Masters is a game in which each person is going to be running a fantasy tavern. If you've played D&D, if you've played role-playing games, you all know one of the iconic locations is when you walk into the tavern, you walk into the ale house, you walk into the bar, and you see the shadowy figure in the corner who wants to sell you the treasure map to the Tomb of the Unknown or what have you. And it is iconic because it works, because it's awesome, and it gives you like that perfect springboard to like launch whatever new dungeon you've created on your players. And nobody seems to I mean, immediately, yeah, the joke is like, how many dingy corners are there that like there's the guy all just like kind of skulked up and just like just like, oh, adventures, eh? You know, that sort of thing, you know, but it works, right? Because the whole point is to get to the dungeon. But regardless, the whole point is that this is a game where each person is going to be running the tavern. And I love the barkeep, like, role in D&D games. I love that aspect of, like the guy, wiping the table and like, and he's like, have you heard anything around town? Well, I don't know. Maybe if you give me a few coins, and then you can start dispensing with the rumors, if you will. Now, so you're going to take that role of the guy, spitting and cleaning the mugs and whatever. But this isn't a game of, like, dealing with adventurers. This is a game of you, like, basically getting adventurers and getting people into your bar and getting them to drink and eat and stay in that bar and earn you money. And the first person that earns 20 gold by basically supplying the needs and the wants that these people have and getting them to stay at their tavern and not going to somebody else's tavern, will be the person that wins the game. So let me show you how the game is played. It is very quick. It is very simple. It is basically a card game with some cool, gold coins that you're going to be using. And then we'll come back here and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, cool. This is Tavern Masters, and as you can see, there are these 3 decks of cards, and technically, this 3rd deck of cards, this Dirty Deeds deck, is kind of an expansion to the game, but I played it with it because the Dirty Deeds deck allows you to kind of mess with other players, and I like games that allow me to mess with other players, so I included it from the get-go. You don't have to play with that, though, so you can play a more gentler version of the game if you so desire. To begin the game, each person gets 3 gold coins. The whole point of this game is that basically at the end of a round, if anybody has 20 coins or more, it triggers the end of the game, and then whoever has the most money will win the game. Each person is going to, at the very beginning, they're going to get 5 of these tavern cards. These tavern cards are going to be several different types of things that you're going to be able to put in your tavern. Obviously, there's going to be drinks, like here we have Rock Bottom Ale, Dragon's Breath. Now, this is a prototype, so I don't have all the art. There are games. You can see there's like the dice up here, and you can see there's a mug up there to show it's a drink. So like here's a card table. You can have people to work for you. Here's an elven barmaid, and then here's hard cheese. The little fork here, that's food. So like, and then each of these cards has like to purchase it and have it put into your tavern. It has money down there. So you can see this would cost 1 coin to have hard cheese for sale in my tavern. If I wanted Rock Bottom Ale, it would cost me 1 coin to have in my tavern. Now you might hear this elven barmaid. Couple things quickly. This little symbol up here, it basically tells what type of person this is. This is a serving wench, so that's what this little heart symbol is up there. Other symbols will mean different things. They'll be like thugs or soldiers or what have you. But here, so she's a wench, and so you can see there, it allows me to draw 1 additional patron each round if you have the elven barmaid working for you, which is patrons. You draw those at the end of like when you purchase and place things in your tavern. I'll get to that in just a second. But you can see here, the higher cost is 2 coin, or just have some cheese within your tavern. So the first turn of the game, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be, it's called like the day phase. It's like you're going to be hiring workers and you're going to be putting them to work. And so in this case, what I could do is I could spend, you start with 3 coins. What I can do is I can put my hard cheese out there for 1 coin. And now I can put my elven barmaid out there for nothing, so that doesn't cost me anything. And now with my coins that I have left, I have 2 coins left. I can, here I can put a card table, and I can put my Rock Bottom Ale. Now I couldn't have put my Dragon's Breath drinks out there anyway, but And here, you may take any patron from the patron discard pile each round. That's like the Dragon's Breath power. It's pretty cool. But I can place these two as well. So now I have, a fairly full tavern to begin with. I have a game of chance, I have some food, I have a drink, and I have an elven barmaid. And I'm going to spend all my money and throw it all away. And I'm going to hope that after everybody else has done the exact same thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get... Now, keep this card. Put it down. Now, there is a discard phase. I might end up discarding this, but for right now, I keep it. And now I'm going to draw at the very first round. Everybody is going to get 5 patrons. After that, you only get 3. So, but the first round you get 5, and then normally. And also, I should mention that at the beginning of a round, except for the first round, like when you get your first hand of cards, you don't actually get a first hand of cards. I should have mentioned this. You do actually do a card draft where you get the 5 cards and you pick one, you hand them to your left, and so on and so forth. And that's how you get your starting hand of 5 cards. But after that, you will just draw 3 new tavern cards at the beginning of each round, so you can kind of replenish your hand that way. All right, so here we have the patron deck, and your first round you'll get 5. After that, you will just draw 3. And the whole point is that you're trying to get patrons that you can get to put into your bar that will want to stay there. And the longer they stay there, the more money they're going to make you. And so how do you get them to stay there? Well, you have a patron, and so like here's an apprentice mage. You can see that symbol says they're a sorcerer. And so he wants mead. And he likes entertainers. Now, I have to satisfy the want to be able to play. To get them to stay within my tavern, I have to get them to like something in my tavern. So I can't even play this because I don't have mead. So let's hear. A guardsman. Well, he wants ale. Well, I have ale. Awesome, I have ale. And he also likes wenches. Hey, I have a wench. So now I can play him during the patron phase. I can put him down. And now he's going to, theoretically, stay within my tavern. And he's going to pay me money each and every round. However, other people can try to steal him from me if they, if for some reason, like they have a card or an ability to take him away or make me discard him. For example, I could, I could lose my ale, and in which case then I wouldn't have what he wants to drink, and so he wouldn't have that. So it's always, you always want to make sure that you take care of your patrons and you're giving them exactly what they want. All right, so here we have a dwarven miner. Likes entertainers. He'd pay me additional coin if I had dwarven mead. Well, I don't have any mead, so let's just skip him. The village baker. He likes any drink, and he allows me to play 1 bread for free from my hand. Well, but he doesn't have a like, so I'm going to have to get rid of him. But I need money, so I'm going to play him, even though I would have liked to have been able to hold him until I'd be able to put a bread out there. And here's the dairy maid. You may play 1 cheese for free from your hand. Wants any drink. Well, once again, probably would have been cool if I had that before, but I already used my cheese. I already paid for it. So, and I need the money, so I'm going to put her down as well. And now I have these 2 that like mead, and I can't do anything with. So that is my phase that I'm going to be actually putting out my different patrons. The one cool thing is that my guardsman, I'm going to be able to keep him because he likes my bar. So I'm going to be able to have that and maintain that. But the other 2 are going to go away. But the thing is that now, normally during the kind of nice game, the night phase will go on to the count the till phase. And that's when you're going to collect coins, depending upon the different people that have come to spend money on there. Now, there's other things you can do, you can see here, once per turn at the card table, once per round, I may pay 1 coin to flip a coin. If it comes up heads, I get 3 coins. Well, I don't have any coins right now, so unfortunately I can't do anything with that. But, that's out there. Now, I should mention that you have the ability to make trades with other players. You can trade coins, you can trade patron cards to other players. So if somebody had a patron card that they had mead, and they really wanted, so and they wanted my apprentice mage, and they had somebody. Let me just grab something out of the patrons deck here. So let's say they had this peasant that likes food and wants any drink, and and there was like maybe this dwarven, so like they'd actually get an extra coin out of this deal. So I mean, because really there were no reason why they wouldn't play that. So I could trade with somebody and say, okay, well I'll give you my dwarven miner, you give me that peasant, and now I'm going to have to keep a peasant, and they're going to keep this dwarven miner, and so then I could put that peasant and I'd trade that away. So now I'm looking at getting 4 gold, and because this peasant likes any food and I have cheese, he's going to stay within my tavern. So now I get to play all 4 of those. So you can do those trades. You can't trade, the only things you can trade are the patrons and gold. So just keep that in mind. You can't trade anything else. All right, so normally, as I said, at this point, you would be done. You would count the till, and then if anybody had 20 gold, that would trigger the end game. However, if you're playing with the Dirty Deeds, this is when you get the Dirty Deeds deck. And to begin with, you get 3 cards off the Dirty Deeds deck. After that, you're just drawing 1. And the Dirty Deeds have different abilities. So like, here's luxury tax. Target player must lose 1 coin for each drink worth more than 1 coin in their tavern. And you can see agent is soldier. I have to have a soldier, like I have, in my tavern to be able to use luxury tax. So like, here's word of mouth. You may steal and play any one patron from a target player at the end of the round. And so there's an entertainer. I don't have an entertainer, but that might be something good. And then here we have a bag of rats. Target player must choose and discard 1 food from their tavern. It's a thug. I don't have a thug. I don't have an entertainer, but I could mess with somebody and, target somebody and make sure that they had to spend some money with this luxury tax if I had, this soldier. So that's what the Dirty Deeds deck does. And then you can play this. And you can play as many of these as you want. So you don't just play 1, but obviously if you use them all up, then you're going to have less options later on to prevent somebody from possibly winning the game. So now, after you've done the Dirty Deeds phase, that is when you will collect your coins. In this case, I'm going to collect 4 for the 4 people that are in there. There are nobles. Let me see if I can find a noble really quick. There are nobles that they come and eat here. Here is, like, say, you can see they're a noble because they have this gold around there. It's like captain of the guard, and the nobles will give you 2 gold for being at your tavern instead of just 1. But I'm going to get the 4 gold, so I can use that for the next round when I can put more into my tavern, and for trading and also all those other things. I go through my deck and I find the ones, so I get to keep the guardsman and the peasant because I've satisfied what they like. And you put the other 2 in the discard. They are going to go off and go visit some other place, if you will. So I keep these 2, I keep my tavern, and we reboot, and we start over for the next turn. And you're going to keep doing this, drawing. And if you have more than 5 cards, you have to discard down to 5 cards. But, and you keep doing this, drawing more tavern cards, drawing more patron cards, playing them out, making your tavern bigger and better with more food, more drink, more games, more people that are working for you. And eventually, somebody's going to have 20 gold, and then that'll trigger the end of the game. Now, I should mention one last thing. With the Dirty Deeds deck, there are people that are considered to be Dirty Deeds patrons. And here's a few, like the Halfling Thief, the Fair Temptress, and the Cutthroat. So these guys, just so you can see, these guys are thugs. They have, just like anybody else, they want ale, wants any food, and so on and so forth. And some of them even have likes, like the Halfling Thief likes nobles. They have a Dirty Deed ability, like this one says, steal 1 coin from any one player. If you use these during the Dirty Deeds phase, if you use the Dirty Deed ability of your patron, you have to discard them. So even if you had this Halfling Thief and he likes nobles and you have mead, and he would continue giving you that money each turn, if you decide to steal a coin from somebody, you'd have to discard this patron. You notice these 2, neither of them have likes, so you'd probably be a good idea to use their special ability since you're going to lose them anyway. But there you go. That is how Tavern Masters is played. It is a very quick, very easy to teach game that has just a lot of that interactivity that I really like in games like this, and with the very, very simple rule set that makes it very, very inviting for people to kind of jump in and play and have a good time. But I'll talk more about that in my final thoughts. Alright, thank you very much for learning how to play the game. As I said, it wasn't very tough to learn. I mean, it just has those 3 phases, 4 if you had the Dirty Deeds, and I would really suggest that you use the Dirty Deeds. I mean, I guess theoretically I could have played without them the first time I played with my daughter, but she really, really likes sticking it to me in games, so she probably would have been not too excited about it otherwise. I mean, if you're just playing it without it, I mean, yeah, it's still a fun game. You're still kind of building your tableau, and you get to kind of, like have this, like, because I like games that where the resources you use are the victory points. So, like, you have that balance that you have to have where, like, do I spend the money or do I keep the money? What investment am I looking at here, kind of thing. And, so I enjoy that aspect of it. At what point do I stop trying to, like, build my engine and do I sit back and let my engine start coughing money at me, that kind of thing. But in my opinion, you kind of need the dirty deeds just because if somebody manages to get a couple of cards that seem to be working just a little bit too good, the synergies there is just too beneficial for them. It is nice if you can send your thugs over to set fire to their house or like throw rats into their kitchen and then pollute the place. So I've always enjoyed that aspect, and this is a game that, like I said, it kind of everybody kind of does their own turn at the same time. It isn't like one at a time, each person putting their tavern pieces out. So the game moves along quickly. And it inspires table talk. It inspires the creation of kind of a story. When you are throwing those rats into the kitchen of your neighbor, you actually like feel like you're dumping the canvas sack full of diseased bubonic plague rats and through the window, and you can hear the screams inside, that sort of thing. So I mean, it promotes that those moments of enjoyment and the kind of the laugh and the chuckle and like the game plays itself out in your head, and I like games that promote that and do it. And this is, like I said, it's got a really, really simple rule set, but you learn it quick, but it's just a lot of fun, and it's just fun to kind of mess with each other, and the game doesn't last too long. Games that are like kind of take thatty, if they last too long, eventually you're just like but this game wraps up, 30 minutes or so, and it lasts that perfect time frame. And so there you go. I mean, if you like these types of games, this is the type of game you're going to like. The theme is awesome, and I guess they could have made it about a space tavern. They could have made it in the Old West or any of those things, but I really, really enjoyed the fantasy element of it, and and that really speaks to me as being a hardcore RPGer for as long as I have. So for all those reasons combined, I had a lot of fun with Tavern Masters. So there you go. If you have any questions about the game, ask away. I'll be happy to answer those as best as I can. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and until next time, I'm the Undead Viking, and I'm telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.